on the PGA Tour. So, again, you need to find guys, if you're looking to do a DraftKings lineup or just looking to bet some winners or some top 10s, top 25s, whatever it may be, those are some, you just need guys that can play well on difficult golf courses, because the rough out there at Torrey Pines, I saw some videos, is extremely, extremely thick. Some of the best finishers from the event out there at Torrey Pines a couple weeks ago, the Farmers Insurance, you had Harris English, who I mentioned already, Sam Stevens, Andrew Novak, Sanjay M., Chris Ventura, Hayden Springer, Taylor Pendrith. Probably a lot of names you don't really know there, as that was a full field event, where this one is indeed a signature event with no cut when it comes to what they've got going on. I did want to give a kind of a tip of the week. I was going to talk a little bit about, and Alan Watson is a professional in this as well, and he can, if you want any of this stuff to be done or ask more questions, you can certainly go see Alan at Golf Plus. But for your golfers out there that are wanting to get better and equipment, I'm not saying that buying new equipment goes a long way, but certain things with equipment will make you better. One of those things.
Keep going.
One of those things, your wedges, right? Your 56, your 52, your 60, whatever you may use. There's something on those wedges called a bounce. And what the bounce is, it's the bottom of the wedge. It's that curved part that sticks out. That's measured in degrees for how big that curve comes out. And for every type of golfer, you need a different bounce in your wedges, because if you're using not like the wedge that comes with your set that you got from Walmart, but like if you buy a standalone wedge, whether it's a Vokey wedge, a Cleveland, a TaylorMade, Callaway, whatever it may be, they all have different bounces. The lower the number, the less the bounce. So if you are a golfer and you have a tendency out of the fairway with your wedges to take big divots, you probably need bigger bounce, because what happens is when you're taking big divots, that leading edge is cutting into the grass and digging deep. So when you have a bigger bounce, that bounce will actually slow that club down from digging, and you'll actually hit it a little more shallow, and it'll actually in turn have a lot more solid contact. And then vice versa, if you have a tendency to not take divots and hit the ball thin a lot, then you want to reduce that bounce a little bit, and like 6, 8 degrees, those are your lower bounces. They go all the way up to like 14, and that's your higher bounce. And it's the same thing with the bunkers. So with bunker, a lot of people don't realize you're actually trying to hit down through the sand, and you're utilizing the bounce of that club, that wedge, whatever it may be, and that bounce is designed for you to be able to attack that ball aggressively, but the bounce slows the club down through the sand. So a lot of people, you hear the take the dollar bill out, all that stuff too, but you also have to be set up a certain way, but you got to utilize that bounce in your wedges. And again, and Alan Watson, I know, is a sponsor of the Afternoon Underdogs, and he does a fantastic job. He can help answer those questions. But one of those things, if you're struggling out there on the fairway, struggling in the bunkers, maybe it's a bounce situation. Maybe it's something you don't even realize what's indeed going on. So, check that out. And then, of course, I always like to talk about, drivers. Everybody can try to buy a new game. And in this day and age, it's pretty cool. The shaft is the engine of the driver. Obviously, the shaft is important from your driver, your 3-wood, 5-wood, all the way through your irons. It's very important, but the driver, it's the most important thing, because spin rate is such a factor when it comes to hitting straight and far. And if you don't have the right shaft in your driver, you may be making a good golf swing, but not getting a good result. And obviously, being on a launch monitor and getting those numbers, which Alan Watson can do, is paramount. And the nice thing about this day and age, when I was growing up with golf, all these all the shafts were glued into the club. So if you wanted to change shaft, you'd have to do the whole process. Nowadays, they have all these adapters because all these drivers are adjustable. So literally, all you have to do is get a new shaft, put an adapter on it, and you just click it right into the golf club. So if you're looking to change shafts, there's so much factors, and hopefully I'm not boring anybody, but these factors are so important to kick. Like, a lot of people think when you're hitting a driver and you're hitting it too high, you're like coming up and scoop. It's impossible. You're hitting it high because you're cutting down on the ball and like slicing underneath it, because you can't open up a driver and get underneath it because you'll hit the ground. So there's kick points in the shaft. There's a low kick point, there's a mid kick point, and there's a high kick point. The higher the kick point, the lower the ball is going to go, because that means the slower the club is going to kick through impact. Typically, people with higher club head speeds and who hit the ball a little further want a little bit higher kick point, because they don't want that club flipping through the bottom. Whereas a lower kick point is going to be for people who struggle able to get that ball up into the air, and it's going to kick a little more with less speed. So there's a lot of factors that go into that, and that's what's cool. You can get on Launch Monitor, find out what you need, and you don't have to buy a whole new driver. You could potentially just buy a new shaft, and it's really easy nowadays to pop new shafts in golf clubs where 20 years ago it was a lot more challenging. So a lot of little things that come to golf club fitting, which we talk about all the time, how important getting fit is for the set of clubs. And it doesn't even have to be a new set of clubs. You can get fit with the current set of clubs you have, and if wherever you're going has got a lie and loft machine, you can bend that steel, they can put you in the right stuff. And again, Alan Watson's fantastic at all that, and that's where we always recommended people to go, as there's not a lot of places here in our area that do
I can't think
clubs
of one other
fitting
one.
specifically. No, not really. I mean, unless you go to
Dothan, and then go to the other golf.
go to the other golf plus. But the private clubs, the Watersound Club, they have a whole teaching facility and club repair facility and all that. Same thing with like Santa Rosa. But just for your average golfer that's not a member of any club that has that kind of stuff, I would definitely suggest going out there and seeing Alan. So
now the way I kind of look at it, just because I've never had my clubs fit, one day eventually I'll go do that, but I don't play enough golf for that to happen. Would you say that it's kind of like tools? Like there's people who go out and spend a tremendous amount of money on tools, and they don't. It doesn't matter if they had a circular saw from Walmart or if they don't know how, or from Home Depot, Lowe's, top of the line, whatever. If they don't know how to use that tool, it's kind of irrelevant getting those things done. I guess what I'm getting at is the combination of lessons from Jay and then club fitting from Alan Watson would behoove you the most.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, going out there and buying the newest technology isn't necessarily gonna, automatically make your, golf ball go where you want it to.
Just need to go get them Persimmon woods?
The Persimmons?
Persimmons.
Yeah, the old woods.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. Ball and they feel so good when you hit them on the screws, because they actually literally have screws on the face.
Yeah.
That's how they put the face into the club, and that's where that
Those are the first clubs I used.
Yeah, hey, me too. I had a little cut down driver. It was, I still have it. It's not very big. And that's a good point. You need to know how to use the tools you're using, but once you get comfortable enough where you're at least making a consistent type swing, that's where the fitting makes sure you're getting the best out of what you're doing. So, because, if you're, not to keep going on this, but might as well, Jay's not here, when you get clubs fitted more upright and more flat, if you're consistently, that toe is coming through first and dragging and making that heel come through, you're going to hit the ball consistently to the right. So you need to, without changing your swing drastically, you can lift that toe up a little bit, making it a little more upright, and then you're going to be coming through a little more square, and you won't see it, and vice versa. If you're consistently hitting the ball, to the left with a little bit of a draw, maybe that club is too upright for you, and that club is coming through and the ball's going left. So there's a lot of different things that's what makes it so hard. There's so many factors that go into a good golf shot.
Yeah, we were having Alan explain to us like the difference in loft and lie and all of that good stuff, and I was like, yeah, okay, that makes a ton of sense. But it does, the way that he explains it, he does a great job explaining it. The one thing with driving, if you have one of those really tall tees, isn't there a way that you could get that driver underneath it to hit it higher? Because it was or the tee it high, let it fly.
Yeah, and that's when, and I'm talking about the ones where people pop them up.
Yeah,
people think when they pop a ball straight up in the air that their club is doing this.
Yeah,
that's impossible. Like, even if the ball is teed up that high off the ground, that driver is about as tall as my hand, and for you to do this, that's just not physically possible.
Right.
So what happens is you come down so steep on it that you actually cut it, and it pops straight up, and that's what puts those sky marks on your driver. So you're wanting.
I don't know about any of that. Mine are 350 pipe down the middle of the
every
fairway.
time. Every time, tight little pocket draw, ball rolls out.
At least
about
on the
60
golf
yards.
games.
Yeah. Hey, use that R2 for the spin.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I mean, and there's just so much, and it's kind of being equipped with the knowledge of why things happen. That's life in general.
Well, isn't that where, and that's kind of the difference in school and real life, right?
Yeah.
Is in school we're taught that this is the answer. And it's kind of like math, right? Where how did you get to that answer?
Yep.
And that's when you start realizing why and when you understand the why, not just what the answer is. I think that you gain a little bit more wisdom and knowledge with the why.
Yeah, no doubt.
Answering the why, rather.
When you know the why, usually you know the cause and the effect.
When you know the why, you know the X.
That's it. That's it. And sometimes you throw an A, B, and C in there as
Yeah,
well.
sure.
And I used
Get
the word
into some
equilateral
calculus.
triangle the other day
Yeah.
at soccer practice. I had to put 3 cones, and I made sure they were in equilateral.
There you
I was like,
go.
I haven't said that in forever.
Isosceles.
Isosceles. That's
I think that's where they're all equilateral. At that
I think
point, right?
I think the isosceles, again, I'm not 100% positive, it's got the one right angle, I think.
Okay, maybe that's
Because then you got the acute and the obtuse triangle as well. But equilaterals, I believe, are all 3 angles in the triangle are the same. Wow, we went off on a tangent there.
it's like Dre. It's like Jay's here.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
So looking up an isosceles triangle, in geometry, an isosceles triangle is a triangle that has 2 sides of equal length or 2 angles of equal measure. So
Okay.
they wouldn't all 3 be equal
Gotcha.
like a equilateral triangle would be. Even though the picture that they're showing looks very equal. But again, I'm not very good on what sides are, you know.
I understand. I know they're add up to 180 degrees or something like that. That's what it's got to add up to. Anyway, math was.
I think you're correct.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm not 100%.
They got to add up to 180 degrees, which is half of 360. And 360 is a circle.
Correct. All day long. All day long. And if you spin around in a circle, that's also 360 degrees.
But if you do a 900, it's not 3 full circles.
2.5.
It's 2.5.
Because 1080p or 1080
1080.
snowboarding
Yeah.
showed us that was 3 complete revolutions
Yeah.
while you were doing a stale fish or whatever it may have been. Those games obviously were certainly a lot of fun. Yes,
yeah. And the
geometry. Go ahead.
Well, and the dirt bike games and
Yeah.
stuff. I was watching like MT, what was it? MT, MX versus ATV or whatever. Used to play that game a lot back in the day. A lot of fun, man.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. The Tony Hawk's.
I
Pro
got the
Skateboard.
newer Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Is it
game.
cool?
Well, I don't know if there's a newest one, but I got one a few years back that's for the new system. And I mean, brings back it brings the nostalgia in, along with like new graphics.
Yeah.
So you're just wowed again, all over again.
Yep, no doubt. The soundtracks of those Tony Hawk
Oh.
games were fan.
And it's the same soundtracks. That's the best part. About it. Yeah.
Ooh, that's even better.
Yeah.
That's even Goldfinger and all those.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Ever
99
had
red
to-
balloons.
Yeah, 99 Red Balloons, which was a cover by
Yep.
Goldfinger, because the original one, the German version, I forget who sung that one, but the 99. That
Well, Goldfinger is a German band, I'm pretty sure.
But that's not the original 99 Red Balloons. Nina. Yep. Nina.
Because I know Goldfinger did a version where it like they sang the German.
Yeah, they do. They
And
do.
that
Yep.
Probably won't wait for
Because the actual name of the song is 99 Luftballons,
Love Balloons.
which I guess is read in German.
Luft.
Luftballons.
I love the different languages, and it's like, okay, so really none of this matters, right?
Nope, absolutely.
Say what you want. As long as someone understands you, that's all that matters.
Oh yes, no doubt, no doubt. But yeah, so get out and watch some Genesis action, and if you want to get some bets in, like I said, I think Jordan Spieth would be a good one. If you want to, like Keith would say, go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask, what's your outlook on Justin Thomas, who kind of started out good at the Waste Management?
He's playing a lot better this year than he was last year. That's
right,
for sure.
to start out, but
Yeah.
does he continue? Does he gain the confidence and kind of climb back, or is his time over?
I don't think his time is over. He's still so young in the golf world of things. But I mean, he's 18-1 right now in the Farmers Insurance, in the Genesis. So he's pretty high up there, ahead of Ludwig, and just behind Scheffler, McIlroy, and Morikawa. But yeah, I mean, these next few weeks are going to be huge for him, going into TPC Sawgrass, and then of course the Masters, because obviously he famously struggled last year, which was well documented. But hopefully. Each new season brings new life. I know the new season of Full Swing comes out on February 25th.
I never even watched season 2.
Yeah, well, season 2 was good too, and so obviously this will continue to bring us through and catch us up with everything going on behind the scenes. Great documentary there, especially if you don't even have to like golf to like that documentary. It's always cool to see behind the scenes actions when it comes to professional updates. We got to go ahead and take a quick break. Our final segment today will include some spring training updates and then some local high school and middle school updates. This time we've already covered basketball. We will cover soccer. You guys are listening to the Inside Drive. Final segment coming up next.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the most college basketball.
Three-pointer, punch him in.
College basketball is back.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
The SEC, ACC, and beyond.
Oh, you saw that coming, Rafa.
The biggest games play right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Introducing Lucid Stream TV. Get over 2,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch local network channels from most major markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Lucid Stream TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200-plus entertainment and news networks, or watch 10,000 movies on demand, including recent theater releases. Just $42 a month when you use the promo code ESPNNW at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Lucid Stream TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Lucid Stream TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Lucid Stream TV logo.
Coming in hot.
So hot.
It'll be a hot one. Really hot.
Goddamn.
The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
With Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
College Basketball Saturday on ESPN Radio. It's an SEC showdown in College Station.
At the right angle, whips the left, step back, left wing three, high archer, good!
The Arkansas Razorbacks go head-to-head with 8th-ranked Texas A&M.
Two to play, streaks down the lane, floats it up, and the layup is good at the buzzer!
Arkansas at number 8, Texas A&M. Coverage begins Saturday morning at 11:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. Presented by Robinhood.
The Four Nations face-off is here. It all comes down to one word.
Pride, pride, pride.
For the United States.
What a shot by Jack Eichel!
And the Stars and Stripes.
A blast from Austin Matthews!
For Finland.
Barkov, incredible!
And the Lions.
Shot to score! Mikko Rantanen!
For the entire world to see.
Pride is on the line.
Four Nations face-off. USA Finland presented by Enterprise. Thursday at 8 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
Evan Canty and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
I am disgusted with the committee for the Pro Football Hall of Fame that Eli Manning did not get in. There is no argument to be made that Eli Manning shouldn't be a Hall of Fame. If you win 2 Super Bowls and you got 2 Super Bowl MVPs, you're going to get the Hall call. I don't understand how Eli Manning did not get in.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
PGA Tour Live on ESPN Plus.
Stream 34 tournaments with 4 unique feeds and more hours than anywhere else. Yes! From the first drive to the FedEx Cup playoffs, it's the best way to watch.
It's a full season, and it's all here on ESPN Plus.
Sign up at plus.espn.com/golf.
I just can't get enough.
Earlier on on Clinton and Friends.
The idea that the Lakers front office could unload basically one superstar for another superstar that was younger and better and just kind of get away with it was very easy to fall into that trap. That itch that Lakers fans need to scratch all the time of getting another star was very much satisfied.
Clinton and Friends, weekdays from 10 to noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Andre Agassi and Steffi Graf.
The couple that plays together?
Slays together.
Take on Andy Roddick and pickleball pro Jeannie Bouchard.
The last time I checked, there's only one pickleball pro in this.
The Pickleball Slam 3 is here.
I'm coming to take my trophy back.
Legacy.
I'll be facing one of the greats of the game, and also Andy Roddick.
Rivalry.
Andre's stamina obviously isn't what it once was.
Pickleball Slam 3, live from Las Vegas, Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, only on ESPN.
ESPN Northwest Florida, available on all your devices. Hear your favorite sports talk hosts and your favorite teams. Wherever you go, there we are. ESPN Northwest Florida.